In the Bible, there is one very beautiful and evocative psalm, Psalm 29, which I will now read. It's the Psalm of David. Ascribe to the Lord, O heavenly beings, ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory of his name. Worship the Lord in holy splendor. The voice of the Lord is over the waters. The God of glory thunders. The Lord over mighty waters. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. The voice of the Lord breaks the cedars. The Lord breaks the cedars of Lebanon. He makes Lebanon skip like a calf, and Sirion like a young wild ox. The voice of the Lord flashes forth flames of fire. The voice of the Lord shakes the wilderness. The Lord shakes the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of the Lord causes the oaks to whirl and strips the forest bare. And in his temple all say glory. The Lord sits enthroned over the flood. The Lord sits enthroned as king forever. May the Lord give strength to his people. May the Lord bless his people with peace. This is indeed beautiful and highly evocative psalm, which portrays the Lord, Yahweh, as God of storm. And now I would like to share with you something from my background, somewhere where I attained a PhD in study of Ugaritic texts. Ugaritic texts are coming to us from 12th to 13th century before Common Era, and they were written in a cuneiform script and written in a language very similar to Hebrew Bible. I translated those religious texts from that city. It's in Syria these days. And religious texts are very, very similar to those we have in the Bible. And now I would like to read to you a few lines from a specific myth, a cycle of Baal. And finally, Baal will appoint the season of his reigns, the season when he appears with his storm chariot, and the sending forth of his mighty voice from clouds, and hurling to the earth of his lighting flashes. That's before he is able to build his temple, his house. But then, after that house is built, we hear this celebration. Baal opened a rift in the clouds. His holy voice Baal gave forth. Baal repeated the utterance of his lips. At his holy voice the earth quaked. At the utterance of his lips the mountains were terrified. The ancient mountains were afraid. The hills of the earth trembled. You can recognize that these are really quite similar images they are trying to evoke and inspire in us. So from the time of discovery of these Ugaritic texts, which was the early part of the 20th century, there was a quite interest in these texts and also recognition of the closeness of Psalm 29 and these images of taken from Canaanite myths. And scholars are now almost certain that Psalm 29 is really going back to this pre-biblical religion. You can almost replace the Lord, Yahweh, in the psalm with God Baal or name Baal, and you will have exactly the psalm which Canaanite people might sing. And it is marvelous to recognize that through this Psalm 29 we have in the Bible, we are really reaching out to ancient religion, pre-monotheistic religion, and we are touching the roots of civilization. It is being preserved with small change in our Bible, and that is something you might not know about our Bible.